There has hardly been an international tournament where turnovers have not occurred in the deep defensive zone. In other words, the right defensive quadrant, deep left defensive quadrant. The question has to be asked, is this a learning error or execution error? In my humble opinion, this is a learning error because our coaches, even at the highest level, have not been able to figure out the strategies and tactics to win the contest in the one-on-one situation between a defender and a forward, or two-on-one with one defender and two forwards when the forwards are double tackling. Yes, the teams have been very successful when they can pass the ball around, circulate the ball around in the back to create width and depth, then easily able to escape through this net or make a wild hit or a long scoop. Yes, they have been successful. But when there comes a situation when the defender is caught and has no passing options and he or she is under pressure, 9 out of 10 times the turnover has occurred. Let's take this example in this game situation, which we have explained the details in the beginning. In this screen, the right half passes the ball to the right fullback, and the right fullback receives it on a strong side, and there's no one near her. And in spite of this, when the pressure is put on her, there's a turnover. Why so? Let's analyze it in the next slide. In this game situation slide, we can see that the right fullback has received the ball on a strong side, and a New South Wales player is coming from her left to put pressure, and another one is coming from the right. Now, this right fullback still has a lot of time and space. If you look at the slide in the back, first slide, I had mentioned that if she had backpedaled, she would have more space as the opponents had to cover more distance. But still, there was enough space, optimum space, to control the ball and make a next pass. But you have to have a strategy to cope with the given situation. How do you do that? One of the things which we need to teach our young and upcoming hockey players is the rule of ABC. Before receiving a pass, look at the angle, at which angle you are to receive a pass from the passer or to whom you have to pass. Second is body position. Is it in such an optimum position that you can scan the field? And C is check your shoulders. If this player had checked her shoulders on the left and right and backpedal, she would have more space and she would have had more situational awareness. Now let's move to the next slide. As we can see in this game situation, the New South Wales player has come closer and is tackling from the left and putting pressure. And another New South Wales player is coming from the right to put pressure on the player with the ball. We also like to see at the opportunities which has this created, as when the players put a press, they leave themselves vulnerable, but as a deep defender, we get so focused and a little bit worried also regarding not losing a ball, and we miss the opportunities which are waiting for us with open arms. Now, if this right fullback controls the ball and comes to her right side, you can see the long range passes which are open to the leading forwards, the Tasmanian forwards, and the Tasmanian forwards have made lovely leads in an intelligent way to create goal scoring opportunities. Now, in this given game situation, the Tasmanian right fullback under pressure has started running with the ball, trying to run away from the player who is tackling from her left but is unaware or maybe semi-aware of the player, opponent player who's coming from the right side. In my view, this is the number one technical blunder all our international players make. Why should you go to the opponents with the ball when you have the ball, especially in your deep defensive quadrants? Bring the ball back, let them come. When they come to you, they commit, they make the first move, you backpedal, you entice them, and exploit the space behind them. And in that situation, if they are out of position, if you have to hit the ball through them, which is quite easy in a controlled fashion, and make a possessional pass, then you have won the contest. So the point over here is we have to teach our players not to run with the ball and try to make a penetrating dodge. Yes, if you are in the offensive quadrant, you're one-on-one situation and you are a forward, then it's totally a different game situation, different ball game, then you have to take on. But this is a different situation, so be thoughtful so our players can differentiate between when to go forward and when to go back. Well, we can see in this game situation the Tasmanian right full back with the ball. She has run with the ball a couple of yards. She's on the D top, and the opponents are putting pressure on her. And she has, from my point of view, narrowed her angle of making passes, where also has cut her primary space to look to make a next pass, so she is forced to make a pass in a pressure situation, and let's see what happens. We can see that the right fullback with the ball still has time to backpedal and not go to the opponents and neither make this pass under pressure. It is like this when you're driving, you see a yellow light and all of a sudden the yellow light turns into red light, but you don't stop and then you go and you are crashed. And this is what has happened. The player should have paused, brought the ball back, and there would have been new opportunities and angles to make the next pass. You can see in the next slide the turnover has occurred and the counter attack has been launched. And let's see now what the forwards do. How do they exploit this counter attack situation? Remember one thing. As soon as the turnover has occurred, the opponents are in a very vulnerable position because they are out of position. It's sooner you make the decision, the less harder you will have to work. In this situation, the player who intercepted the ball, if she was wise enough to analyze the situation and instead of running, just being deceptive and freezing the opponent who's coming to her, the Tasmanian defender, and pass the ball to one of the leading forwards, a try on the goal could have been much easier and quicker. Here in the photograph number 3 on the left top corner, you can see that the player who intercepted the ball from the New South Wales, she delayed, so the game situation changed, but still she was wise enough. After running towards the right and cutting in, she passed the ball which went through the Tasmanian defender, and the New South Wales forward ran very intelligently off the ball to connect the ball into the goal. They did score. This is very good, but they could have scored earlier with less effort.